6 o'clock, we're going to go ahead and get started with our meeting. I'd like to welcome everybody to the February Town of Mocksville Town Board meeting. I'm just glad we didn't have to cancel because of the weather. So hopefully we're on the other side of the weather. I'm looking forward to some warmer days. I would like to welcome Al Andrews, who's here tonight with us first time. Glad he made it down. If you'll please join me in a moment of silence to pray about the business of our town. Amen. If you'll please stand with me and face the flag and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So Al, the first item on our agenda after the pledge is the conflict of interest statement. Would you read that?
Yes, sir. Pursuant to North Carolina General Statutes and the Town of Mocksville Code of Ethics Policy adopted November 9th, 2010, amended on January 6, 2019, and further endorsed on August 9, 2022, I would ask each of you, before you adopt the agenda, if there is any actual, potential, or perceived conflicts of interest with respect to any matter on the proposed agenda which will come before the Town Board of Commissioners for consideration and/or decision at this meeting. If so, please speak up and let the board know at this time before the agenda is adopted.
Any conflicts? No. If not, we'll move on to the adoption of the agenda. We just need a motion to adopt tonight's agenda. So motion from Justin, a second from Carl. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Next item on our agenda is our citizen comments. There is a public hearing after this, so if you're going to make comments during the public hearing, you don't have to make comments now. But if you would like to say anything at all regarding what's going on in the town, or if you have anything on your mind, you can step up to the podium and speak for 3 minutes about whatever you would like to speak about. Okay. If not, then we'll close out our public comment section and move right on into the public hearing. Tonight we have a public hearing. I'm going to invite John Easter to come to the podium. It's regarding zoning map amendment TOM 26, Howard Street Real Estate LLC, and rezoning.
Thank you, Mayor, Board. Tonight I present zoning map amendment TOM 26J4-0001, Howard Street Real Estate LLC is the applicant. The application is to rezone approximately 5.21 acres on Duke Street. The current zoning is neighborhood residential and the proposed would be general industrial condition. The subject properties are located at 1007 Howard Street and 260 Duke Street. The properties are further described as Davie County Tax Parcel J412-0A001 and J412-0A00101. Property size is approximately 5.21 acres. The current land use, it is a vacant property, and it's an institution that is no longer in operation. If you look at the zoning around the property, to the north of the property is a residential, neighborhood residential zoning. To the east of the property is neighborhood residential. To the south of the property is a commercial type zoning. It's general industrial. To the west of the property is a commercial, neighborhood residential, and general industrial. The Mocksville Land Use Plan, Comprehensive Plan, identifies this use as residential. At the January 8th Planning Board meeting, the Planning Board unanimously approved the zoning, and the planning staff recommendations, the town of Mocksville identifies a large portion of the surrounding property as general industrial. There is currently an institutional facility on the property. The proposed rezoning meets the comprehensive plan objective 6 and strategy 6.1 and development. General industrial district encourages growth compatible with the town's character and available infrastructure and service. Based upon the following factors, the planning staff is in favor of the proposed zoning map amendment. So tonight, this is a conditional rezoning. The only uses that I would ask you guys to use, and these are what the applicant is, the specific uses only for group care facility A, B, or C. Those are the only conditions that is currently there. During the planning board meeting and included in the packet, I handed it out, there were some discussions to address some of the proposed buffering around it. The applicant I met a couple of weeks ago, specifically on Wednesday, we walked the property and addressed and discussed some of the proposed buffering requirements as addressed during the planning board meeting. Included in your packet is the proposal. So at this time, I would ask this board to either approve with conditions, deny, or defer. And stated with conditions, both parties would have to agree to the specific conditions proposed. So at this time, I'd be more than happy to address any questions or concerns that the board has.
Any questions for Johnny?
Group care facility A, B, or C. Further define that.
Further
for me.
define that, I can get specifics in there. Has to do with
Appreciate
the
it.
intended use
Bless you.
associated with drug and alcohol. So A, it limits the number. B, A is 45 people. A is 45. B is 45, but has to do with more of a kind of a court ordered in there. And C has to do with 200. Okay, so when you get to the sides, less than 200. So it has to deal with the size and the use. And at times I just left it in there. The applicant has talked about asking to just remove B from the uses at this time. But I can get, these uses are specifically defined in the zoning table of uses.
May I ask a question for clarification, Mayor? Just for clarity, conditional rezoning, if the commissioners decided to rezone this property for this use, when that use stops and a different use would be sought for that property, it would have to come back
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
for
So,
another rezoning.
yes, sir. So the conditional, it would be recorded and placed on the map. So any applicant who going forward any other use of this property would have to meet those specific parameters. It follows the life of the property, not the individual property owner. So in 10 years, 15 years, or 20 years down the road, if somebody wants to come in and with this facility convert it into something else in that zoning district, it would take an act of the planning board as well as this board to change the conditions. So any conditions opposed on this at all will follow the use of the property through the duration. So, like I said, subsequent changes would require an act of this board to change those specific conditions.
And the planning board did approve it.
Yes, unanimously.
So any other questions for Johnny Easter?
When you talk about court-ordered offenders, that was the B section?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's been removed.
Yeah, they're taking that out. That was improved in an application, but that would be removed with the approval.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Johnny. I think before the board is gonna make a motion on it, we have to do the public hearing and open it up for comments. So at this time, if anybody's here tonight that would like to speak against the proposed rezoning, this would be the time to step up to the podium. I think you have 5 minutes to speak if you would like to speak. Just state your name and your address, and then Lynn will be timing you at the or actually Emily will be timing you at 5 minutes. Yes.
Hi, my name is Lisa Nielsen. I live at 831 South Salisbury, so just behind this proposal. Thank you for allowing me to speak this evening. I have the utmost respect for what this company is trying to do. I think we need more drug treatment facilities in Davie County. My concern is that this property is zoned neighborhood residential. When I bought my house 5 years ago, I looked specifically for an area where I knew I wasn't gonna have a business coming in right next door because I wanted that quiet neighborhood feel. I think this business that they're proposing should move into an area that is zoned for a business, not into the middle of a neighborhood. We have zoning for a reason. Someone spent a lot of time and energy drawing up the zoning requirements, and I'm just asking you to follow the zoning as it's written. No one wants a business plopped down in the middle of a quiet neighborhood. At the planning board meeting, the representative said that the patients will be local, then said that that could be up to 70 miles away, which would include both Greensboro and Charlotte. And maybe I'm being a little selfish, but I don't want people from Charlotte finding out about the unspoiled gem that is Mocksville. So thank you for your time.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
Lisa. Is there anybody else that would like to speak against the proposed rezoning? If not, then we'll close out the against and have anybody that would be in favor of it can come up and speak for the same amount of time at the podium. Just state your name, and you've got 5 minutes, and Emily will be the one with the timer.
Good evening. I'm Nicole Costa. I'm with Advanced Recovery Systems, the Recovery Villages. We came and met with the planning board a few weeks back. I'm the Chief Clinical Officer for Advanced Recovery Systems, so I work nationally with our organization. We have 13 facilities across the United States, from the East Coast to the West Coast. In our process of looking at new facilities, are always searching for areas where there is a great need. And since the pandemic, we all know that the need for mental health and substance use treatment has been on the rise. And this is an area of great need. We know that in Davie County, there aren't any residential mental health or substance use treatment facilities. There are community-based facilities. And in speaking with some of those community-based facilities, they struggle to place patients who need that higher level of care to enter into treatment. And if they do need to place them, they have to send them outside of Davie County for treatment if they do need that higher level of care. And so we found this beautiful location in beautiful Mocksville. I had never been here before. I didn't know you guys had snow, but I heard this was the first time there's been snow in 30 plus years. I'm from Boston, so we get lots of snow. But it's a beautiful location. I will tell you that most of our facilities are in more residential type locations because we want our patients to have that residential type feel when they come into treatment with us. Our treatment facilities are supervised 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by nursing staff, by behavioral health technicians, by clinicians, doctors, nurses. This is not what you'd think of as like a sober house or recovery home where patients have the access to leave and wander the neighborhoods or have periods of time, even overnight, where they're unsupervised. Our facilities are supervised all day and all night. We also take into great consideration the type of clientele that come into our facility. So we are a voluntary program. And to speak to option B, which is court mandated, we are not a court mandated program. We primarily manage patients who come in who have commercial insurance or who work with the VA, who are first responders, veterans, who are in need of treatment services. I don't think any one of us here haven't been touched by someone who has struggled with mental health or substance use issues. And so we service a population of people who want to go back to work, who want to get back into their communities, and just need some time away for healing in order to do so. And so that's what we're hoping to bring to this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Nicole. Is there anybody else that would like to speak in favor? Yes.
Hello, my name is Kyle Plachta. I've been with Advanced Recovery Systems as well since 2018. I've had the opportunity of opening 6 of our locations nationwide since I joined. One of the things that I think is important to note for this location and kind of our best practice when we do come into an area is we aren't looking at just coming into the building and operating. So between acquisition, site development, and site re-improvement, interior and exterior, we're looking at something of around $12 million to $13 million of investment. We have started conversations, just preliminary, obviously, with local contractors, Davie Construction, and working with Alliance Architecture of the Triad out of Winston-Salem. This isn't something where, like Nicole was saying, when you walk in, this isn't a hospital. These are humans that unfortunately have an affliction and they need to be treated as humans. So if you go through our facilities, there is a homey touch. They aren't hospital-esque. So we do have nursing stations, we do have BHTs, medical providers on site, but we do want to ensure that this isn't something that we're coming in and operating at will. So I appreciate your time and thank you.
Thank you, Kyle. Anybody else that would like to speak in favor? Okay. If not, then we'll close the public hearing and then we'll go to the board. Does the board have any other questions for Johnny, or do you have any discussion about the rezoning?
I guess my question would be more addressed to the two folks from the recovery systems. The primary or the sole individuals who come in are for mental health and addiction services. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, we're not talking about sex offenders being placed there for
No.
treatment against their will or anything like that?
No.
Okay. And you said basically it is a facility that's supervised 24/7.
Yes.
That doesn't mean law enforcement, it means supervised by individuals who work there.
Correct. By staff.
Okay,
Yes.
all right, and you said people are there voluntarily?
Yes.
Okay, so they can check themselves out if they choose to end the program?
Correct. Yes, they can. And we discussed that on our last meeting we were here, that if they do check themselves out, there needs to be a safety plan put in place. They cannot walk off the property. We do have car service. We also don't allow patients to transport themselves to our treatment facilities. We do transport them, so that limits the availability of them having cars on property and things that can happen when they have vehicles. So we would transport them to a safe location with a safe plan if they were to leave.
Thank you.
So they're not allowed to be outside?
Only within our perimeters. They can't like walk the neighborhood, but we have the grounds, and I think that's part of the plan for the outdoors, is that they'd have the grounds on the property that we do outdoor activities on, but they would not be leaving our property.
So there's a proposal for a fence, I believe.
Yeah. Yes, okay.
And if I may say, the visual that we're looking at right now is just to address the buffer requirements. So in addition, there could be intersections from the fence to the building to create courtyard spaces for the clients, so they don't have access to the driveways or the front parking lot.
Good questions. Any other questions? Okay. So the mood of the board.
So moved.
We have a motion from Johnny Fry in favor of the rezoning.
Yes, sir.
I'll second that.
We have a second from Rob. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. The only other thing we have to do is the statement of consistency. You'll notice on page 6 in your packet, there is a statement of consistency and reasonableness for the approval. We just need a motion for the statement of consistency.
Move that we approve that.
We have a motion from Rob.
Second.
A second from Justin. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Al, are we all clear?
Yes, sir. So one thing, we are clear. We might want to, upon further reflection, do the last thing third and do the third thing fourth.
Okay.
Only because when you read, just notice this, when you read the ordinance, one of the whereas clauses talking about after having adopted.
Okay.
So, just so it won't create confusion.
Okay. So the next time.
Thanks.
Gotcha. Thank you, Al. So that does pass. Thank you, board. Thank you for coming tonight. We look forward to seeing you guys come to our community and be a part of Mocksville. So, yes. And y'all are welcome to stay and see what goes on in a town board meeting, or you're, if y'all would like to stay, you can, or if you want to head out.
Now's the time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for being here. So moving right along, our next item is item number 6. We have a proclamation to recognize February 2026 as Black History Month. I would like it to be entered into the record that there's a proclamation on Black History Month, and that we will recognize it moving forward for February 2026. Davie County Seniors Games and Silver Arts presentation, Carrie Miller, Senior Games Local Coordinator. She'll come up and talk to us about Senior Games.
Carrie's got her Valentine sweater. That cleaned out some people.
Yes.
I did bring packets. Thank you all for having me tonight. I'm Carrie Miller. I'm the local coordinator for Davie County Senior Games. I've been the local coordinator since 2021. So I'm going into my 6th season of Senior Games here. The first season when I started, we had 68 people register. And 2 years ago, we had 240 people register. So we've had an exponential amount of growth. So I'm here to educate people on what Senior Games is and how you can become involved in the community, either volunteering or being a part of our Senior Games program. So Senior Games and Silver Arts, it offers competitive and non-competitive sports and arts events for people that live in Davie County 50 and older. Davie County is a case-by-case county because we really like to support our own here in Davie County. So we are only allow people that are residents of Davie County participate unless they are a partner with someone else from another county. Like if they can't find a partner in Davie County, they can go out somewhere else and find a partner or to be on a team. So the most common misconception that I have is that I'm 50 years old. I don't want to compete against someone that's 99, or I'm 70 and I don't want to compete against someone that's 50. So that's not the case. You compete in these 5-year age brackets. So if you look on the screen, it breaks them down into 5-year age gaps from 50 to 100 plus. So the way that Senior Games works, this is statewide, the age that you are by December 31st of this year is the age that you will be in your Senior Games season, no matter if you're 49 today and you're not turning 50 until December 31st, well, you can still play Senior Games because you're going to be 50 on December 31st. And then men and women compete separately in these age categories. So our season here in Davie County runs from March to May. This year we're starting March the 10th, and then we're going to close out on May the 21st. I try to get done before Memorial Day. So our registration dates are open right now. We opened on January 22nd, and we're going to go through next Thursday. And we always accept registration forms after the deadline. That's just so I can order t-shirts. So I accept them even up until the minute before the event. If you want to play that sport, come on. We'd love to have you. Our registration fee is $15, which includes our opening ceremony meal and our closing ceremony meal and a t-shirt. So our registration forms, I just sent some registration forms around, and I'm going to leave some of them here if anyone comes to the town hall. They're at Senior Services, at Rise, the library, and the YMCA, and also the community park. These are all the different locations that we have Senior Games throughout the county. So we do play some sports in Winston-Salem because we just don't have facilities anymore. So we don't have mini golf here or billiards, but everything else is in Davie County. And we try to hit all of the different cities. So we have Coolamy, Mocksville, and Bermuda Run. We play, this year we're going to start out with pickleball here on the new pickleball courts in the town of Mocksville. I'm very excited. Let's just pray for no snow. These are all of the different sports offered. And I think it's a good overview of everything that we do offer because I think people don't understand how many different things there are. There are over 100 different ways you can play Senior Games and different events. And some people just come out to play golf. There's golf, there's bocce, shuffleboard. A lot of them are very low impact sports. And this year we are starting a new basketball team, so we can have a basketball tournament. I think we have enough for 2 ladies teams and 1 men's team. So we're going to try to keep up our Silver Spirits legacy. Another component of Senior Games is Silver Arts, and it's broken up into 4 different categories. So the Heritage Arts are the ones that are like quilting, wood carving, wood turning, and you can enter 1 item in each category. And then we have our literary arts for our writers out there. We have our visual arts, and this is the one we have the most because we have an art class at the Senior Center. We have usually about 13 people that enter into acrylics, so it makes the judge's job really difficult, but it's fun to see the end results. And we offer so many different options for people that if they're not into sports, they have an opportunity in the arts section. We also offer performing arts, and Benita's been a judge for us before at the performing arts event. We do not have very many people compete in the performing arts, but we would love to have you come out and do anything in a group, small group, or solo. We also offer cheerleading, and we are trying to get our cheerleading group started again. So they began last week, maybe, if the snow. They may have started this week, actually. But we do offer solo, small group, and large group and cheerleading as well. And if this works, this is a video of Dr. Kimberly telling you why you should play Senior Games. Dr. Kimberly is now going to be 93 this year, isn't that right?
He'll be 93 in November.
This is Bud. He's my one of our senior games ambassadors, so he's here to support me and answer any senior games questions you may have at the end. But yes, Dr. Kimberly will be 93 this year, and so he's still playing senior games. This was Miss Nancy Tutterow. I don't really like to hear excuses in senior games, like I'm too old for that, because she was 99 in bowling, and she didn't start bowling until she was in her 80s. So I really don't like to hear excuses in senior games because we can find something for everyone. We also offer year-round clinics at the senior center. We this one's a badminton clinic. We no longer offer badminton because it's a very low attended sport, but we do offer year-round clinics in bocce, cornhole, pickleball. We have weekly pickleball clinics to try to keep people informed and educated on how to even play the sports that we are offering. These are some pictures that we've had in competition over the years. We've had shuffleboard, and then our track events, pickleball, and then our art in the middle. We do discus and bocce, and we've got some more art and track events. Once we compete in our local games season, we move on to something called our Piedmont Senior Champions Tour. This is a kind of a fun event that we compete for a trophy, and we play against the Yadkin Valley Senior Games, which is Stokes, Surrey, and Yadkin counties, and then we compete against the Piedmont Plus Senior Games, which is they're an open county, so they have people from all over the triad come and play in their games. So we compete against those senior games in 3 different events in August, and so we always crush it at cornhole. We always offer cornhole because that's the biggest facility that we have, and we have 18 people from each senior games come and play. So that was our team for cornhole one year, and we won all the points. This was the year we won the trophy. We were playing bocce in Winston. And then once you play the Piedmont Senior Champions Tour, if you win at the local level, you're invited to play at the state level. And these are pictures throughout the years at our state senior games where they've won gold, silver, or bronze in art or in the sports. So a lot of these pictures were from this year. It was a lot of fun. I got to go to cornhole, bocce, and shuffleboard in Clayton this year, and it was a really neat event to see all these people, and they come home with the medal, because a lot of people have 16 or more people in their age groups. To come home with the gold medal is incredible. And then once you play at the state games every other year, there's a national qualifying year. You can be invited to play in the national senior games, which are all around the country. So coming up, they'll be in Tulsa, Oklahoma. But our Silver Spirits basketball team has represented us well at national senior games. They have come home with a gold medal every time they've gone. Well, gold or silver medal every time they've gone. But this was in 2019 no, that's right, not true. This was 2023 when they won gold at the national senior games in the 80 bracket for basketball. And then this year we had a retirement celebration for the Silver Spirits to celebrate their 30 years of basketball, and the town of Mocksville did help us out with that event, and it was amazing. So one of the reasons I'm also here is we need a call for volunteers. I always need people to help with sports scoring or timing. And I know they're during the day, and I know people work, but one of the ones we're doing this year on a weekend is the basketball tournament. So if anyone is a referee or knows of a referee that'd like to volunteer or run the score clock or help me with the score books, I think we're gonna have to have at least 3 games going on that day, and they're half-court basketball. So it'll be interesting because I've never done this before. So any kind of help I can get with any of these events would be appreciated. And then I just wanted to invite Bud to say anything about senior games.
Well, I've loved sports all my life. And when I came along, you didn't have it. There's very few things you could do. And the time you was in your 40s or so, that was probably it. I started high school sports in 1950. If anybody walked up to me then and said, Bud, said, 76 years now, you could be in competitive sports. I wondered what nut house it comes from. This year will be 76 years since I started high school sport, and I love it. It's if you go to the state, it's just like a homecoming. You meet people all over the state, you compete with them, and if you go back a couple of years, they're not there, kind of wonder what's happened, especially when you get to this age bracket. But I will say one thing about when you get to the 1994 age bracket, you don't near have the competition. It's not quite as hard. But I thank everybody that loves sport. It's one of the best things you can do is join the senior game.
Thank you, Bud.
We're here.
So Bud did come home with a few medals when we went last year to Clayton. He did finish gold in mini golf, is that right?
Well, last year I had a pretty good year.
Yeah.
I did 8 things and won 7 medals.
Everyone that competed from Davie County came home with a medal last year, and that was about 40 people. So way to play, Davie. I was very proud of them. So if there's any questions, I did pass out my card, or if there's any times you want to volunteer, please let me know. The schedule is on the very back of the registration form. So if you have any questions, I'll be here, and I'll also be at the Shamrock Run on that in March 14th.
Yes. Thank you, Carrie.
We'll say, when you move up your age brackets, I try to get some older people to come kind of in my age bracket. I know they used to play sports. Oh, I can't do that, I can't do that. I said, you gotta realize how your age now, what it used to be. And I've got a little example I use for all of them. Second, third year I went down there when I was about 73. The softball throw is distance plus accuracy. I had 150 feet, some inches, won the silver medal. 10 years later, I threw it 96 feet. Guess what? I still won the silver medal. Because everybody ages with me. But it's hard for some people to understand that. But that 5-year bracket, it's wonderful.
Well, thank you for coming tonight. I appreciate y'all being here, and hopefully, maybe we'll even have some participants this year.
Our registration closes next Thursday, but like I said, if you bring it to me later, I'll still let you play.
Thank you, Carrie and Bud.
And Carrie does a good job, I'll tell you.
He does. So, thank you for being here tonight. Next item on our agenda tonight is our surplus report, and I think Lynn is gonna be doing that for us.
I don't see right here.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Members. Miss Miller here might have gave me some food for thought when I have retired to play some sports. Appreciate it. It was good. Anyway, this is the report we do twice a year for selling our surplus items. This report is from July to January, and we sold $7,921. And in 6 more months, we'll do another report.
Any questions for Lynn on the surplus report? Okay, thank you, Lynn. Next item is our consent agenda to adopt the minutes of the previous meeting. Just need a motion to approve.
Make a motion.
Motion from Jenny. Second from Justin. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda passes. No old business. Moving on to new business. The first item, number A, consider awarding a bid for the Davie County Water System Interconnections Project. Lee.
Thank you, Mayor. Happy to have Chuck Willis and Jonathan Taylor with us tonight. You have on page 58 of your agenda packet a recommendation letter, and then you also have on page 59 those firms that submitted their information for bids. And then you have, just as information, the advertisement for bids. The motion before you today that we recommend is to approve and award GS Construction for the Davie County Water System Interconnections Project, contract 17.0, in the amount of $293,000. Any questions for Lee? Not, we just need a motion to approve the GS Construction bid. Did you have a question?
No, I
Good.
Second.
We have a motion from Carl Lambert and a second from Rob. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Lee. Next item is to consider adopting the budget amendment number 7 from the Enterprise Fund. Lynn.
Yes, page 61, you have an enterprise budget amendment. And that, what you just awarded, the contract, that budget amendment is listed here. at the bottom. So the total budget amendment for number 7 is $328,000.
Any questions for Lynn on the enterprise fund budget amendment?
Motion to approve.
Motion from Rob to approve, second from Johnny Fry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number C, consider adopting a budget amendment for number 8, general fund.
Yes, this is number 8, is our first budget amendment for the general fund, page 63, for a total of $54,029. And with your budget amendments, I always sort of put a little why I'm doing it, in case you got any questions.
Any questions for Lynn on these budget amendments from the general fund?
Move to approve.
Motion from Rob, second from Jenny. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you, Lynn. And finally, item number D, consider awarding professional engineering services required by USDA application for Project Bear Creek Pump Station. Lee.
Thank you, Mayor. I hope you had an opportunity to read my memo to you on page 65 of the agenda packet. Just quickly, as a reminder, this board approved an intent to apply for a loan / grant to the USDA for our Bear Creek Pump Station and force main replacement. You did that on October 7th of last year. What we've come to you today now is a continuation of that process. And that is selecting an engineer to begin working on putting together the engineering specifications and the numbers for this project in order to be able to more thoughtfully communicate with USDA on the next step. I will say that in preliminary discussions that Lynn and I had with USDA representatives, it's possible that of this, and the current high-level estimate is $12 million, that we may be eligible for 40% of that total as a grant. And we're looking at some other funding options as well. But before you tonight, we go through the steps of selecting an engineering firm. Lynn put that out for request for qualifications. We received 5. We put together a scoring matrix. She and I went over it, and then we also asked for assistance from Johnny Lambert and Mike Weir with the county for their feedback. And I am pleased to say that through that matrix, we make a recommendation to select Willis Engineers to be our engineer for this project.
Any questions for Lee on this?
Motion to approve.
A motion from Carl and a second from Johnny Fry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We did. So we know these folks at Willis Engineering pretty good. So.
Just a little bit. Some of you better than me, but they're growing on me.
So moving right on down to communications from the town staff. Usually Al says a little something here. Sometimes he says something about whatever's on his mind. Sometimes he doesn't.
Just here.
No pressure.
So if you've got something you want to add to the meeting, this would be the time to do it.
No, appreciate the opportunity. Appreciate y'all having EV chargers outside.
Glad to have you.
Glad you're here. Lee.
I'm going to communicate my issue during closed session, so.
Then we'll move on. Jenny, do you have anything to communicate?
Just want to thank all town staff for doing a great job with this snow and ice and all this stuff going, cleaning the roads, and so you've done a great job. Thank you, Al, for joining us. And that's it.
Pretty much the same, but I do want to point out smart start of Davie County, which is near and dear to many of our hearts, since let me see, many people work in our families there. Their annual hoedown is Friday night, February the 20th. Tickets are still available. It's a fantastic cause and a great time.
Ditto to what Mayor Pro Tem said, which is a great job to Public Works. I mentioned earlier, and to the whole team on this winter Geddon, Armageddon, whatever we had, Snowmageddon. So, but great job, and maybe more to come. Who knows? But thank you for what you guys are doing, and the whole team. Al, welcome to the group. Glad to have you here.
I'll say the same thing. Thanks, for y'all for keeping the roads clean and helping me get to work. So I greatly appreciate it. Al, good to have you here.
I also want to thank this out there, a fine job he done day and night, and I'm very proud.
Okay, thank you, board. And again, thanks to Brian and your crew and all that y'all done and all the road, help and everybody doing their thing. I know we had a fire call today, so thank you for,
Chris and his group did a phenomenal job downtown as well.
everything's looking good. I was downtown on, Sunday afternoon and they were working hard getting it all scraped up and clean, so it looked really good. Thank you. Al, welcome to, Mocksville. Glad you're here. Hope you're here a long time. And finally, we'll do we need to go into closed session.
So I move that we enter closed session pursuant to NCGS 143-318.11 to preserve the attorney-client privilege and acquisition of property, real property.
So motion to go into closed session, second from Johnny Fry. All those in favor say aye.